Here's an interesting 5 minutes of gameplay from a 1v1 on Coma. We're using the Pro Mode mutator that changes the movement and the weapons just a bit. It's a pretty good example of how to regain control on a map where it's typically quite difficult to do so. At the start we trade hit scan weapons and I hit a sniper shot without taking damage. This lets me take all the vials on the map as opponents takes health, but I don't pressure him because I can still die to a combo. Instead I gear up for the armor. Notice that I don't move in aggressively until I hit the sniper shot, which eventually wins me the item and gets me the kill, putting me in control of the 100 and the 50. Since I have control, I can scoop up some more vials and a shock, which puts me in prime position to take the first belt. I haven't touched my opponent since he respawned though, so I tap the armor to deny him a chance to get control, which goes well, but he pulls an extremely risky move that pays off and wins in the belt. I stay way too long trying to get damage, which loses me the 50, so now I have nothing, but at least I know the timing for all the items. My objective now is to steal the next available armor. I spend most of the time running, and despite getting an opportunity at the next 100, I choose to back off. If I died at this point, there's no way I'd have been able to contest the next 50 armor. There's no need to attack to regain control this early in the game. I end up taking a terrible fight due to a couple of bad dodges, which evens up the scoreline, but more importantly I'm now at a weapons disadvantage. Luckily I spawn at the sniper, which gives me an opportunity to take the vials and take a more defensive position. You'll see me waiting and listening a lot in this footage. When a player's in control they become predictable. They have to take all the 100 armors, and that leaves me free to take some of the vials and use the teleporter to reposition and take the 50. It's important to keep exit routes available to you. In that situation my opponent had to push into me if he wanted to chase. Again, I'm just sitting in the middle of the map and listening. I'm not positioned on any major item routes, so when my opponent runs into me I'm free to back off to the nearest health packs. It's important to be near the armor pickups when they're taken, even if you're not contesting, otherwise you won't have the exact time on it. I take a lot of damage here, but I don't die, and it means I'm free to take the 50 as I hear my opponent on the other side of the map taking the vials. I don't have a big enough stack to challenge anything major, but I'm still going to stay around the items as I said earlier to get the exact time. My objective now is to save this stack for as long as possible. Unfortunately I eat a combo that sets me back a good minute or so. Again I hear Ponix at the flak vials, which lets me take the next 50, and I'm lucky enough to escape without taking damage. At this point my opponent makes an aggressive mistake. I have the exact timing on the 100 and this gives me an opportunity to run straight towards it. Since I've only given up one kill, I still have most of the weapons, putting me straight back in the game. He moves in towards the 100 armor expecting me to be there, but he's too late. This gives me an even better opportunity, and I take the belt, which puts me in commanding position in the map. Instead of going aggressive, I back up and secure the 100 armor. I want to try and catch him at a bad position when he's moving between items. There's a moment here where he could have done some serious damage with the Tri-Rocks, but I take a step back and use the teleporter to catch him up the second time. The key here is not to go too aggressive. Ponix has had control for 3 minutes and still has the weapons to kill me with only a few good shots. Instead I take it slow and catch him with a nice prediction combo, which leaves him with nothing and me with full control. I go on to win this game convincingly, but the real difference making happens in the first half. If you have the option to take back control without repeatedly throwing yourself at your opponent, then you should take it. Approach the game methodically and remember that by keeping total control you become predictable. Don't put yourself in positions where the only way out is to be the better aimer.